situation. Alright, so the next thing is Cody Garbrandt against Deiveson Figueiredo. So I watched the interview that Cody Garbrandt done with Brett Okamoto, and that was again a couple of days ago. And Brett basically confirmed that he's going down to 120. Not Brett. Cody basically confirmed that he's going down to 125 pounds, and to face Figueiredo for the title. For me, I can't see what's wrong with any of this. Like, I've seen people moaning on Twitter, oh, well, what's the point in the rankings? Let's just chuck him in the bin, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. Like, Cody Garbrandt isn't, like, just... Like, if it was Sean O'Malley, for example, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, he don't deserve it. He's not even beaten, like, a top 10 guy in the bantamweight division. Why is he coming down to flyweight to challenge for the title? But Cody Garbrandt is an ex-champion. He's got real killers on his resume. The people that he's beaten comprehensively, like knocked them out and finished them, etc. And he's been talking about going down to flyweight for a while. And for me, this fight makes total sense. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'd consider myself an avid follower of the sport, and I can't name you who the next contender at flyweight is. And that's just it, innit? These are guys that fight generally on undercards, etc., prelims. The Fight Pass prelims, I don't even have Fight Pass, so it's hard for me to watch them. Find a way sometimes, though. But yeah, like, this fight for me, it makes sense from a commercial standpoint. It makes sense from Figueiredo's standpoint. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is Cody Garbrandt physical ability to go down to lightweight. Sorry, not lightweight, flyweight. But he's got an inbuilt excuse there, and I'm not saying that he's doing it like with, oh well, you know, I've got nothing to lose. I think he's going there with the genuine intention of being the champion at flyweight. But I think it's a win-win for him, because if he wins, obviously. But if he loses, it's like, oh, the weight cut was difficult. That's not the weight for me. I should stay at 135 pounds. And also, he's in this pursuit of greatness and being the champ. But, like, I understand why in MMA it's a big deal when you're the champ, because the gaps between weight classes is so vast. And generally speaking, people or fighters become the champ at a weight class, and then they move up to become the champion in the higher weight division. You don't really see it often where a fighter is a champion and then they move down and then become the champion in the weight class lower. So that's something to be proud of. But for me, being the champ, it also matters who you beat. And I'm not saying Figueiredo is no good. Clearly he is. What he done to Benavidez and the way he won that title off him was the most dominant title fight I've probably ever seen. People probably say, like, Conor McGregor against Jose Aldo, but that was too short. Do you know what I mean? That was too short, and that was a one-punch KO effectively. So we didn't get to see how that fight would have played out if it continued. And obviously Conor McGregor didn't let it continue. He beat him in 9 seconds or whatever. But I'd say that the victory that he had against Eddie Alvarez was more impressive, because that was a sustained beating. And the way Figueiredo beat Benavidez was I feel like I've said this in another video, but the way Figueiredo beat Benavidez was a sustained fucking beating, and I haven't seen that in a title fight. I can't remember the last time I saw someone win a title in that fashion. Maybe TJ Dillashaw against Barao, I don't know. But that was a very impressive performance and a very impressive victory. And it's a good fight for him, because it puts a name on his resume if he's to win. But from Cody Garbrandt's point of view, if he went down and beat Henry Cejudo, or if he went down and he beat what's his name, Mighty Mouse, like, that would have been more impressive to me. But at the end of the day, in years to come, if he's to become the flyweight champion, that's what it says in the history books, in the record books. Like, Cody Garbrandt is a 2-division world champion. Like, nobody's going to look at it and say, oh well, you know, Figueiredo, he wasn't actually that good. they're just going to say in 20 or 30 years time, Cody Garbrandt, he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to wear one of them blazers that they give you at the Hall of Fame ceremonies, and they're going to say he's a two-weight world champion, and you won't be able to argue with that. And that's it, really. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm a follower of the sport, but I'm also got a casual fan's mindset. Like, I like to see fights I like fights. Like, my interest grows in fights when it's two characters fighting each other, not just a skill set in the octagon, in the cage. Like, a lot of people on MMA Twitter are poo-pooing this fight because in their minds say, oh no, so and so deserves the fight, or what's Cody Garbrandt done, or like this guy matches up with Figueiredo way better. But for me, a matchup isn't just the skill set in the octagon. Like, I like to see how they're going to interact with each other in press conferences, in interviews, and on social media, etc. That kind of adds to the excitement for me personally. So yeah, I don't know. They haven't officially announced it, but the way Cody Garbrandt was talking in that interview, check it out on YouTube. You've probably already seen it if you're watching this. You'll see that he basically confirmed that fight's going ahead. All that they're waiting for, I'd assume, is just to make it official, for people to officially sign. It just feels like everything's agreed. So, also, if he becomes champion, does it breathe new life into that weight division? I don't know, but I think for me, from the UFC's point of view, this is the right fight to make at this time. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. What's the next thing?